Hey, TGO traders and investors, Matt Buckley, call sign Wiz, the primary and weekly options model portfolio manager here at TGO. And first of all, quick shout out to those of you, nearly 800 of you that attended our trading session after the close yesterday, trading the debt ceiling. And for those of you who attended, know that that necessarily wasn't the topic, was it? The Republicans have folded like cheap suits again, and they've punted down to the middle of May. About May 19th, they've kicked the debt ceiling debate down the road there because Obama's bully pulpit essentially was going to paint them as the people that forced old folks to eat dog food, right? No Social Security checks. People in the military weren't going to get paid. Again, the president and his compliant media just essentially painting Republicans as evil. But the all clear really hasn't been sounded, folks, because we still have sequestration, the mainly billions upon billions of dollars in defense cuts, and a couple other agencies who might have to, cut $10 here and there, but mainly defense cuts that are going to kick in, and also the continuing resolution in March. Folks, we've been operating without a budget. This country's been operating without a budget for 3 years. That might explain why we're going to make Greece look like a fiscally responsible country. But I digress here. A couple of you wanted to, yesterday, I put on this bullish double vertical on the SPX. And if you attended, you got that trade for free. Why? Because my strategic mindset on this trade is simple, folks. We put on our rally hat every January and February for the past 3 years. There's 2010, there's 2011, there's 2012. And initially, I was saying, hey, this isn't going to happen this year because of the fiscal cliff and the debt ceiling debate. And we made a killing in our model portfolios on trading the fiscal cliff, betting that volatility was going to increase, market was going to pull back. And then as soon as we saw some sort of a deal getting made, we switched those trades around and got bearish on volatility and bullish on the market and doubly crushed it. So just great trades in the model portfolio here. And we're putting our rally hats back on. We thought the Republicans would actually get a set of cojones and force the president into some sort of fiscal responsibility. But, of course, I was wrong. And so what are we going to do? We're going to make money on the stupidity of others in our model portfolio here. So, again, put on this bullish double vertical yesterday. And if you attended, you got that trade. Ran out of time, though, to cover this trade. Okay, the SDS, the ProShares Ultra Short S&P 500. So if you've never heard of this, let me show you exactly what the ProShares Ultra Short 100 does. So obviously, let's compare it against the SPX and see how it performs. So as the SPX goes down, look at that, the SPX down 4%, the SDS goes up nearly double that, over 7%. Okay, let's say the market rallies 6% like we've seen so far. The SDS is down nearly double that, 13%. So up 6%, down 12, 13%. Pretty cool, right? This is what we call a pairs trade. As something goes down, something goes up. And we, like I said, leading into the fiscal cliff, we had several pairs trades on, SDS, SPX, and also the VIX. And we crushed it. I think, folks, based on the bullish trade on SPX I put on yesterday, we can also add a bearish trade on SDS, right? A bearish trade on SDS means that we believe the market's going up, and I think it is. We had Google report earnings yesterday. We had banks report earnings last week that most of them, half of them, knocked it out of the park. Goldman Sachs printing money. Morgan Stanley, a sleeper, starting to print money. Even though Goldman returned 10% on equity to shareholders, Morgan Stanley, out of the blue, returned 5%. JP Morgan took it on the chin a little bit because of that London whale trade. The guy or team that lost $6 billion and Jamie Dimon had his bonus cut in half. Wah. Only, $9 million as opposed to $20 million. Cry me a river. But here's what we're going to do. Here's the trade I wanted to cover yesterday that I'm going to add to my model portfolio and hopefully manage for max profitability. I'm going to add a double bearish vertical on SDS. Now, if you look here, 55 is kind of been a support / resistance. It was a floor for a while there, and now it's I believe, going to be a ceiling. Okay, so I'm looking at $3 wide strikes here. All right. For our bearish double vertical. So let's go ahead and start constructing this trade right now. I'm going to click on options on my TradeMaster platform. And again, this is for folks who attended yesterday, and I ran out of time to do this trade. So I'm doing this one. This one's on me, guys. Real quick though, before I get to the trade, many of you, a couple hundred of you, are asking about our newest trading service, Trading Weekly Options. Okay, and the performance on the weekly options model portfolio has been incredible. We've been airborne for a month. 5 weeks, and in 5 weeks we've returned $16,000 in model portfolio profits. Okay, and let me just pull that up real quick, because people lie, numbers don't. So let me go ahead and show you. So like I said yesterday, the weekly options model portfolio, we only risk a maximum of $10,000 a month. That's it. No more, no less. And let's take a look at since inception, the middle of December. Like I said, we've returned $16,000. That's an average of about, that's over $3,000 a week in profits. That's pretty shit hot. Can that performance continue? I hope so. I hope I don't fall and hit my head and become stupid. So hopefully this performance is going to continue. But on $50,000 of risk, risking about 16 grand, that's about a 34% return in 1 month. Annualize that number, folks. Annualize 34%, and we're looking at potentially 300% gains for this year in the weekly options model portfolio. If this sound, and these two trades this week have the potential to make this this Apple trade has the potential to make $1,800 by Friday, and this GLD vertical has the potential to make $1,000. It's already up 62%. So that's looking at potentially $2,800 in gains just this week. So folks, if this sounds, and I know a lot of you are asking about it, here's what you need to do. To get airborne in our weekly option service, take a test flight, right? Before you buy an airplane, folks, go bend it around the sky. Hover over services and just go down to weekly options. Or if you're old like me, you can just type in topgunoptions.com/weekly-options and take a 2-week test flight. Folks, don't believe my word for it. Take the damn test flight, get airborne, bend the jet around yourself, and I guarantee you, you're going to find a home here trading weekly options, because as I said, this service has been literally printing money in our paper trading account, weekly options account here. So, all right, let's get back to the trade here. Let's get to our trade on SDS. Like I said, 55 has kind of been that ceiling, and 58 is going to be my hedge. But let's go ahead and try and construct this. Let's click on options here, and we're going out to March. Why? Because around March is when sequestration, the continuing resolution, and I just think crap is going to start happening. January, February, like I showed you on the chart for the past 3 years, we've seen rip-your-face-off rallies. And we're starting to see that right now. This is a market that doesn't want to go down. So let's start building our bearish double vertical. I'm going to go ahead and click on 55 here, out to March, and I'm going to click Create Spread. And up pops the most popular tactics, not strategies. These are called tactics, folks. And I'm going to click on Vertical Spread. That's what TradeMaster calls a double vertical. And again, I hate options trading, having 5 names for the same thing. So let me invert these real quick, and let's do our bear call spread first. Again, folks, this is going to be a bearish double vertical. Okay, so we're going to sell a bear call spread, and when we do, we take in a credit. When I take in a credit of this bearish call spread, I'm going to turn around and use some of those proceeds, or all of it, to buy a bear put spread. And you'll see in a couple minutes why it's called a double vertical if this is a new trade to you. So I'm going to sell, and I'm going to just throw 10 contracts in there for now to see what our risk is, and I'll show you on the next screen. I'm going to sell 10 of the March 13 55 calls. Then I'm going to turn around and buy as a hedge 10 of the March 13 58 calls. Like I said, a $3 wide spread. Why do I buy these 58s up here, folks? let's say for whatever reason between now and March expiration, the world goes to hell in a handbasket. Israel attacks Iran, the EU implodes, whatever potential threats are out there. If the market rallies, if the market implodes and the SDS rallies, our losses are stopped out up here at 58. Okay, so that's good risk management right there. Now I want to turn around and buy a bear put spread. And the SDS is down here plumbing depths it hasn't seen ever. Can it go lower? Yep, and I think it is going to go lower. So I'm going to look at buying the 47 puts. There's the 47. And again, $3 wide, 47 minus 3 is what? 44. I'm going to do the 44s. And now over here you can see why it's called a double vertical. Why? It's two vertical spreads on top of each other. And this one is bearish. So let's go ahead and click Create Order. And I'm going to go mid-market on this, right? So let's go right in the middle of the market. Let's just say 40 cents since it's moving around a little bit here. It's going to be a debit to our account, but not that much. Oftentimes, I like to create double verticals where I'm actually taking in a credit, where I'm being paid by the market to hold my strategic mindset. But in this case, it's okay. It's a little bit of a debit. So I'm going to click on Analyze, and the first place your eye should go is right here, maximum loss. If your eyes went right here, hey, how much can I make on this trade? You're wrong. You're doing it wrong, and that's probably why you're failing as a retail trader. Professional traders never ask first, how much can they make? Wrong. It's all about risk management, folks. How much can I lose? First question I ask, $3,400. Well, guess what? At Top Gun Options, we have trading rules of engagement. I never want to risk more than 5% on any one trade of the model portfolio. And the model portfolio is based on a notional $100,000 position, okay, or account. So $5,000. So I'm going to go up a little bit here. Let's try 15 contracts and see what that gives us. I think that'll be right around $5,000 there. So let's go ahead and do this and click Create Order and go mid-market. I'm going to leave it at 40 cents since it's a debit to try and get filled. Okay, now let's click Analyze. Boom. Look at that. $5,000, 5,100. I'm cool with that. Now my eyes can go up to here. What's my max potential gain? $3,900. This is a pretty good risk to reward ratio, right? 1 to 0.76. I'm risking 5 to make 4. That's a pretty decent trade, okay? I'd take this trade 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. All right? Again, let me lay out the trade for you. Here's the bear call spread. Selling 15 of the March 13 this year, 55 calls. Okay? I'm saying I don't think the SDS is going to rally anytime soon between now and March and go north of 55. If it does, I'm not worried because I'm buying as a hedge 15 of the March 58 calls. Now, to the downside, because I think the SDS does have room to go lower. I'm buying 15 of the March 47 puts and selling 15 of the March 44 puts. This is also a hedge, okay? Totally hedged position, looks good to go. The most we can lose, if I, again, hit my head and as I fall out of bed and don't wake up, God forbid, I'm only going to lose $5,000. The most I can make is $4,000. Great risk to reward. I like this trade. It expires the third Friday, technically Saturday, but it stops trading the third Friday in March. I like this trade, and I'm going to add this one to our model portfolio. I'm actually going to go down to 39 cents because, hey, a penny's a penny, folks. $10 is 10 bucks, or $15 is 15 bucks. All right, so I'm going to fire this one down range, and I'm going to add it to the primary live trade brief model portfolio. Like I said yesterday, the offer that we put out yesterday, folks, $3,000 for a year's worth of trading in the primary live trade briefs, the primary trade alerts, the advanced live trade briefs, and the advanced trade alerts. That offer yesterday, folks, also includes this weekly option service. And guess what? This weekly option service, folks, ain't cheap. It's a better deal. I'm telling you this right now, folks. It's a better deal to take what I put out yesterday. But I know a lot of you are like, I just want to focus on weekly options. Great. If you do, here's where you need to go. TopGunOptions.com/weekly-options. And like I said, we've been averaging over $3,000 a week in profits. That's pretty shit hot. So if you're not interested in anything else, I get it. Actually, I don't get it because it's cheaper to be involved in everything else. But if you just want to focus on weekly options, come to this link, take a test flight, get airborne, and see how we're doing. Okay? All right, I got to get running. Got some other trading stuff to do today, but I wanted to get out this trade because I know we ran out of time yesterday afternoon, and I don't like leaving hanging chads. I live here in South Florida, and I hate that term, so I definitely don't want to leave you guys with a hanging chad there again. Okay? TopGunOptions.com/weekly-options. Get airborne on your 2-week trial today. No harm, no foul. If after 2 weeks you're like, Wiz, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. But if making money, if potentially making money in your model portfolio and your paper trading account to the tune of about $3,200 a week sounds good to you, then welcome home. Okay, got to run. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll see you guys on the other side.